All right, 1037. Anne and Dan were trying to find the volume of the cone below. Anne thinks that the cone is 8 inches tall, and Dan thinks that the cone is 10 inches tall. Write them a note explaining who is correct. All right, so Anne says, hey, this right here, this is the height of our cone. And Dan says, oh no, I think this 10 inches is the height of our cone. Well, only one person can be correct. So who is it? Well, in this case, I will tell you that Anne is correct. So Anne is correct because the height spans from the point of the cone down to the center of the base. All right, so you can see that again, the height is going from the center, that tip top point of the cone, all the way down to the center of that circular base. So that's what the true height is. Now Dan, we want to say Dan, he got a little confused here. So Dan how do we want to say this? Dan, I mean, I guess we could say Dan identified the diagonal. Not the height. And the difference here is, yes, it is at that starting point at the tip of the cone, but it goes to the outer edge of the base, so not the center. So Dan was looking at the diagonal, and Anne was correct. So Anne is correct. The height is 8 inches. All right, that's all. I know it looks like a lot of writing, but do make sure you write it all down because, you know, these are all important points that we have to take into consideration. And this is explaining why Anne is correct and why Dan is incorrect. All right, yeah, so it's not like we have to sit in a math class for 80 minutes. All right, so great job. Get that written down. And that's all for this one.